Hello soulmates, I'm Precious. Welcome to our tutorials for today. We'll be learning how to cut or draft, like you might know, our basic sleeve. Now your basic sleeve can be something like what I'm on now. This is a basic sleeve, but this is, let me say, a very short sleeve. You can make yours to your elbow, you can make yours 3/4 or long sleeve. Now if you're making this, you only need this round sleeve measurement. But if you want it to get up to this point, you need to take the measurement of your elbow and also your bicep circumference measurement. In other words, it's round sleeve. Now I teach with freehand method, yes, and I try to simplify it as much as possible so we can all learn. I'll be showing us the required tools we need to cut or draft our basic sleeve next. So to cut your basic sleeve, you need your French curve, your tape measure or your tape rule. You need markers or chalk if you are cutting directly on your fabric. Now you need a measurement. This is it, the required measurement, your sleeve length and your round sleeve. Remember I said the round sleeve can be your bicep circumference, which is the upper part is 11 and the lower part is 10. So we'll be working with this measurement now. So I like to mark a starting point line. This could be your fabric selvage or that part where you have the label of the fabric. So I like to mark it out, and then from there we'll get our sleeve length. Yes, this is the most important. So the sleeve length we're working with is 12 inches here. This is 12 inches here, and you need your seam allowance of 2 inches. I'll tell us what the 2 inches is for later. So I'm just going to go down and connect the lines, my sleeve length and my seam allowance. So now you can have marked our sleeve length and seam allowance. The reason why we added 2 inches for seam allowance is so when we turn it up, or if you are turning with lining, your fabric might just show at the hem of the sleeve. Okay, so the next measurement we need is our round sleeve. You need your round sleeve measurement to know the actual fabric to put on fold, so you don't just fold your fabric and just waste your materials. So our round sleeve is 11, which is 5.5 inches if you divide it into 2, and we'll add seam allowance of 1 or 1.5 inches. It depends on if you are making with lining. If you're making with lining, it's advisable to use 1.5 inches, and if you're making without lining, you just need 1 inch, just like that. So I'm just going to replace my round sleeve measurement, and I'll be adding 1.5 inches. So I'll mark it down. Remember we have 2 round sleeves here. The first one is 11 while the other one is 10 inches. So here will be 5, that's on the lower part will be 5 inches, and then we'll add our seam allowance of 1.5 as well, and we'll connect the lines. So I just want to have those lines down. Before that, we'll go to I will show us what to do next. So from the center of our sleeve, I'm just going to go in by 4 inches. Remember, this is freehand method, so I like us to try this. It works for all sides. And from my 4 inches here, I'll come down by 6 inches. So I'm just going to make a straight line here from where I have my 6 inches mark. So this is my 6 inches line from this part, and this is the 4 inches line. So I'm just going to connect it straight and find the midpoint of this line like this. Now I'm going to look for the midpoint of this line. Definitely it will be 3 inches here. So I'm just going to circle it because it's my guideline where the curve will go through and connect. Now that I've gotten this, remember our seam, our round shoulder is 11, which is 5 round sleeve, sorry. Round sleeve is 11, which is 5.5, and I added 1.5 inches seam allowance, and I did the same for the down part of our sleeve. So I'm just going to connect these lines also, and our seam allowance line. Now for our this is 1.5 seam allowance. For the 2 inches we left down, I'm just going to open this up by 1/2 inch. The reason why we are opening it up is so that by the time we turn it back, it will match or rhyme with this part. Now let's come back to this point. This is the most important point. Here you also need your round armhole measurement to cross check. Yes, you need your round armhole measurement. So I'm going to connect this line here like so to the center part. You can see I've gotten this curve of our sleeve, and you can turn your French curve this way also. Yes, and like I said, this method works for all sizes, so it doesn't matter the size you are, it will work. So this is our basic sleeve. So if you want to cross check, you can put in your round armhole measurement. Make sure you take it firmly, or you can measure. You can see my round armhole is 8.5, so this is my 8.5. So even if your round armhole still falls between 9 inches, you can still take it from there. So you can also use your bust measurement divided by 4, and you divide your bust measurement by 6 and plus 2 inches to it, and you can also get what to use on this line, because that will be from your shoulder to your chest line. So you can use that method, or you use your round armhole measurement. You would have taken it firmly, so you just use it to cross check this curve here. So that is it. I'll cut it out now and show us what it looks like. Okay ladies, so this is our basic sleeve. Remember I said the seam allowance we left is just to turn it up. Now we have notches. You need to notch your sleeve. It's important to notch your sleeve here and at this midpoint here, so that when you are fixing it, you will know how to go about it. So this is our basic sleeve. Feel free to ask questions and suggestions. Your suggestions or your contributions are welcome. But before you ask your questions, I want to encourage you to try this and see if it works out first, so you would know how it works and all. So thank you ladies. I'm Precious. Okay ladies, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll be leaving the link on the description box on how to join our Facebook group. You just need to be there. It's fun, it's interesting. You can ask questions, and you can rub mind with other soulmates there. So join us on Facebook at Precious Apparel. I'll be leaving the link below. Don't forget to ask questions. Also, don't forget to practice. Practice makes perfect. I am here today because I practice a lot. So please, I encourage you to practice and make sure you take notes. Don't just watch this video, take notes as well. It helps. Thank you. See you at the top. I'm Precious.